Hi, Tony here. US equity markets finished lower on Friday as softer economic data and ongoing geopolitical uncertainty weighed on risk sentiment ahead of the weekend. That said, the week still finished positively overall. We saw the Nasdaq rising by about 1.1% and the S&P 500 gaining around 0.4%, both locking in a third consecutive weekly advance. July retail sales fell 0.6% on Friday night, which missed expectations and marked the first decline since October last year. Now, part of the drop was payback after Amazon shifted Prime Day earlier into June, but the weakness also suggests earlier strength in consumer spending was partly boosted by the temporary lift from tax refunds. Now, taken together with last week's cooler CPI, PPI, and a sharp drop in consumer sentiment, it has seen the odds of the Fed staying on hold at next month's board meeting rise to around 67%. On the earnings front, the quarter two reporting season is now about 90% complete, with growth expectations having risen to around 33% year on year, up from around 24% pre the start of earnings season. This week brings results from Home Depot, Target, Lowe's, Walmart, and a few others. Let's take a look at the charts of the Nasdaq and Dow Jones to see how they are lining up at the start of this new week. The chart we're looking at now, as always, to start things off, is the Nasdaq 100, and you can see this impulsive rally from the March lows up to the 30,762 high in early June. The price action since then is just corrective. It is what you'd call almost a textbook correction within this trend channel, apart from this very brief push lower. That, of course, was the situational awareness stop out back on the 29th of July, but it promptly rebounded back into the safety of the trend channel. And we said that if we could get above 28,500, we would move to a bullish bias looking for a test of this record high. Now, you can see on this day here, it closed at 28,776. So our bullish bias was in place, and you can see the Nasdaq is now pushing up against this trend channel resistance. Let's say for ease, it's sitting at around 30,200. So what we're looking for this week is a break above this 30,200 trend channel, which signal that we are going to retest the record highs, and I think break the record highs, looking for a move up towards 32,000. Now, my reassessment levels on this view would be a break below 28,800, which is these lows here, and over here. So basically we're saying if it comes back below 28,800, that would start to be a dent in confidence. But the real, I guess, setbacks would be if we were to break below this trend channel support sitting around 27,665, and then below this low here, which is being reinforced by the 200-day moving average. So overall, our view is that we are going to see the Nasdaq push higher. Whether we need to see some more work in this area here remains to be seen. For the Dow Jones, it has been an orderly, constructive rally from the March lows. The pullbacks have been very, very shallow. This was about a 3.3% pullback into this 50,000 support area. And then we had another 3.3% type pullback into this double low bottom over here. Now, what you have seen since then is a push up to fresh record highs in August. And my gut feel is that while we are seeing these pullbacks of around 3.5% in nature or size, if you like, that providing we hold above firstly this high here and this high here coming in around 53,000, then these pullbacks will also be seen as corrective pullbacks, and I'll be looking for a retest of this record high at 54,749 and a push up towards 56,000. So that is providing that we see the Dow Jones hold above support at around 53,000. If not, then potentially we come back to this area here. That's all for this week. Stay tuned for more market updates later on.